Good morning, Kafue Town Council. I'm Sungombe Edgar from Dundumwes constituency, Kalomo District of Southern Province. You are welcome to your committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, and good morning. Good morning, Honorable colleagues. Good morning, our permanent witnesses. Good morning, Kafue Council. My name is Elliot Kabondo. I'm a Member of Parliament from Fumbo constituency in Northwestern Province. You are most welcome.
Morning, Chair. Good morning, permanent witnesses, and welcome, Kafue Town Council. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Area Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency, Petauke District of the Eastern Province. You're most welcome to your committee, and welcome CS. He is my former CS from Petauke Council. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chair. Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, fellow honorable members of Parliament. Good morning, our permanent witnesses. Morning, Kafue Town Council. Good morning, our viewers out there and the listeners. This is Luhamba Mwene, Member of Parliament for Mangango constituency in Western Province, Kaoma District, and I'm a member of this committee. Thank you.
Chair, good morning. You are welcome. Mutelo Mishek, MP for Mitete and a member of this committee.
Vice Chair. Vice Chair.
Chair, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable. Yes, good morning, Honorable Members of Parliament, our permanent witnesses. Good morning, Kafue Town Council. You are most welcome. My name is Honorable Kampamba Mlenga. I am Member of Parliament for the good people of Kalurushi on the Copper Belt. You're welcome once again.
Thank you very much. Witness, my name is Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency, and I'm the chairperson for the committee appearing before this morning, the Committee on Local Government Accounts. Witness, members of Parliament enjoy the immunity which is extended to you when you appear before any parliamentary committee, that whatever you say during our interaction will not be used against you in any court of law. However, if you choose to mislead this committee, the same court of law will be used against you. I have no doubt in my mind that you wouldn't take that route and that you are going to give us the factual information this morning, the information that we are looking for, the information that will help us draft a very good report, which we will submit before Right Honorable Madam Speaker in the main house. With that said, let me now invite you, Council Secretary, to make your submission before this committee. Thank you very much. You may now proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair. Our memorandum on the report of the Auditor General on the audit of the books of accounts for Kafue Town Council for the financial year ended 31st December 2022 is from paragraph 40, and we have appendices 1, 2, 3, 14, 15, and 32.
Sorry. You can highlight the query and then you go to your submission as management, cause of query, of course, submission, action, and the remedial measures that you're putting in place.
Thank you, Chair. I'll start with the cause of a query for the first item, which is on unaccounted for funds. Revenue in amounts totaling 111,901 was not accounted for, as deposit slips and daily cash collection sheets were not availed for audit because the documents were misfiled. Action taken. Management has noted the auditor's findings and wish to state that out of the 111,901 deposit slips and daily cash summary sheets amounting to 96,610 kwacha were traced, leaving a balance of 15,291. Out of this balance, 8,528 kwacha, 87 ingwe, was deducted from the airing officers' accrued leave days owing to the fact that the said officers had been transferred to other councils. Management has since written to Lumezi Town Council to deduct through the payroll the remaining balance of 6,762 kwacha, 13 ingwe. See appendices A from A1 to A32. Remedial measure. The council is currently using the computerized receipting system where a receipt is issued to a client upon presenting a bank deposit slip. Further, a daily cash summary sheet is prepared on a daily basis, supported by copies of computerized receipts and bank deposit slips. In addition, all accountable documents are filed in order and secured in the strong room. B. Management of payroll and related issues, irregular payment of salaries. I move on to the cause of query on page 2. Management has noted the auditor's findings regarding Mrs. Judith Vene, Council Secretary, LGSS2, who was transferred from Chilanga Town Council on 29th April 2022 and is still sitting on Kafue Town Council's payroll despite her not working at Kafue Town Council. Action taken. Kafue Town Council, while appreciating the findings of the auditor, would like to state that the Local Government Service Commission issued an instruction through a letter dated 26th August 2022 directing the council to maintain the said officer on the payroll. Further, Kafue Town Council made follow-ups with the Local Government Service Commission through letters dated 29th November 2022 and 29th December 2023 on the way forward. See appendices B1 to B4. Remedial measure. Kafue Town Council will continue submitting staff returns to the Local Government Service Commission on a quarterly basis so that the establishment for the council is adhered to. C. Environmental management, dumping of condemned meat. I move to page 3 on the cause of query. Management has noted the auditor's findings that animal carcasses were disposed of at the dump site at time of audit and the approval by the veterinary officer had not been availed. Action taken. Since the waste was disposed of by a franchise company contracted by Chilanga Town Council, a letter was written to seek clarification for the disposal of animal remains at Kafue dump site. The certification forms indicating that the products were unfit for human consumption in accordance with the Public Health Act Cap 295 of the laws of Zambia have been attached as appendices C1 and C3. Remedial measure. Management will always ensure that the Public Health Act Cap 295 is adhered to by way of intensifying monitoring of the operations at the dump site. C. Management of Local Government Equalization Fund delayed completion of the construction of a bar and restaurant at the swimming pool, Kafue Ward. I move to page 4, where there is a table showing the So I move to page 6, Chair. On page 6, cause of query. At the time of audit, the project was not completed as the contract was terminated due to the delayed completion of the works by the contractor. Action taken. Management acknowledges the observations made by the auditor and wish to state that under the Council Resolution Minute Number C/77/10/23, it was resolved that the whole property housing the swimming pool, bar, and restaurant, including the outer space, be advertised for lease. With this resolution, therefore, no further works could be carried out on the bar and restaurant structures to see them to completion. Further, I wish to submit that the letter for the termination of the contract has been traced and attached under appendices D1 and D2. Remedial measure. Management will ensure that the roles of the project managers are re-emphasized and that the regular monitoring of projects at every stage will be undertaken to avoid delayed completion of projects. Chair, I now move on to the cross-cutting audit findings. Appendix 1 is related to the audit opinion, which shows that our statements were unqualified. Management submission and action taken. We're saying that management will ensure that the status quo is maintained by preparing financial statements as required by financial regulations. A sample of the copy of the audit financial statements for Kafue Town Council for the year 2022 financial statements is available, and this is the copy that I have with me here. I move on to Appendix 2, budget and income and expenditure. There, this table relates to, we have the approved amount, income, variance, amount spent, and spent amounts, and the figures are indicated accordingly. And management submission is that management has observed, has acknowledged the auditor's findings and wish to state the following as the reasons for the under collection and the action taken. So we will move on to page 8, and the various sources of revenue are categorized, and I'll be reading them out and also stating the cause of the query. On local taxes, due to challenges faced on the 2017 valuation roll as a result of subdivisions done on most of the properties in Chalala, New Kasama, and Lilai, management is currently updating the valuation roll and engaged the services of the court sheriffs to recover what was outstanding from those properties that were not owing. See appendices H1 to H2. On fees and charges, the reason for the undercollection was that for market fees, most of the market stands remained unoccupied during the year, and other codes such as survey fees, refuse disposal fees, application fees, penalty fees, and occupants' licenses were due to over-budgeting. Management has ensured that a realistic budget is prepared. On licenses, we're saying that the undercollection is due to the lack of compliance by business houses, and the same reason is given for levies, permits, for levies and permits. And management will engage the stakeholders and also enforcement by way of using the task force. I move on to number 6 in the table on commercial ventures. Commercial ventures were under rehabilitation, which took longer than anticipated at the time of the budgeting. So that resulted in the undercollection on that particular vote. For other incomes, due to ZESCO wayleaf contract which was not offered to the council. The council has since stopped budgeting for it. Then on the subtotal is indicated there. Then I move on to national support, the local government equalization fund. The reason for the variance is due to deductions at source for monthly contributions as LASIF and union dues and audit fees. On constituency development fund, the variance was due to the deductions at source for the purchasing of CDF monitoring vehicle and Zambia police motor vehicles. Remedial measure, management will ensure that only collectible income is included in the budget when budgeting to avoid over-budgeting. Appendix 3 on failure to collect. The failure to collect and the amount indicated is 1,813,847. Cause of query. Management has noted the auditor's findings and wish to state that revenue amounting to 1,813,847 broken down as 943,395 and 870,452 kwacha for billboards and fish levy respectively were not collected at the time of audit due to the following reasons. On fish levy, Kafue Fisheries rehabilitated Kafue Mongo Road instead of paying fish levy to the council. Find attached appendix E1 to E4. On billboards, some of the billboards which were removed in the year 2021 were still being built and were appearing on the debtors list, hence having a higher figure as uncollected. Find appendices F1 to F4. Some billboard owners are non-compliant to pay to the council as they are claiming that they are now paying to the Road Development Agency. Find attached appendices G1 to G3. Action taken. The council has constituted a task force to capture data on billboards that fall under the jurisdiction of the council. So far, 163,108 kwacha was collected as attached at appendix 4. Remedial measure. Management will ensure all income due to the local authority is collected through the engagement of all stakeholders, and for non-compliance, the council will engage court sheriffs to collect the fees on its behalf. Appendix 14 is on overemployment of staff. For the vacant positions, 26, number of officers 42, number of officers employed 16, and the amount indicated. Cause of query. Management has noted the auditor's findings in respect of council's excess staff during the period under review. Kafue Town Council, through minute number KTC/101/9/2 JK, dated 29th November 2022, and minute number KTC 101/10/10, dated 29th December 2023, brought to the attention of the Local Government Service Commission the council's excess staff. The council awaits a response from the commission. See appendices B1 to B4. Remedial measure. Management will ensure that the staff returns are submitted to the Local Government Service Commission as prescribed, and continued follow-ups made so that the required number of staff is maintained on the council's structure. Appendix 15 is on failure to fill vacant positions. So the positions indicated as being vacant is 48, filled 34, giving a variance of 14. Cause of query. Management has noted the auditor's findings in respect of council's vacant positions during the period under review. Action taken. Management through minute number KTC/101/23/1 dated 29th December 2022 requested the Local Government Service Commission to fill vacant positions. The Council is awaiting a response from the Local Government Service Commission on the way forward. See Appendices B1 to B4. Remedial measure. Management will ensure that staff returns are submitted to the Local Government Service Commission so that critical and vacant positions are filled according to the needs of the Council. Appendix 32, failure to settle outstanding statutory obligations. The outstanding amount indicated there being 38,577,208 kwacha. Cause of query. Management has noted the auditor's findings that an amount totaling 38,577,208 kwacha for NAPSA, 29,406 kwacha 29,406 371 kwacha. ZRA 7,805,524 kwacha 26 ingwe, and for LASIF 1,365,311 kwacha 77 ingwe was outstanding, and wish to state that the Council was facing financial constraints to liquidate statutory obligations as they fall due. Action taken. The Council is in a mutual agreement with LASIF under the auspices of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development to be deducting this liability at source from Local Government Equalization Fund, which is currently being implemented. Find attached Appendix JK1. The Council has also engaged NAPSA to enter into a payment plan in order to offset the arrears. The Council management also secured a Council resolution to do a land debt swap with NAPSA to offset the debt. Find attached Appendices JK2 to 4. The Council also wrote to the Zambia Revenue Authority for a penalty waiver in line with the amnesty ZRA was offering to councils. Find attached Appendices JK5 to 6. Remedial measure. Management will ensure payments are done when resources are available, and institutions owed are engaged to come up with payment plans to avoid legal actions. Chair, I submit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Council Secretary, for your submission. I think now this time I'm going to allow members of Parliament to ask any point or points of clarifications. And at this time, I'm going to start with the Honorable Nyambose.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, fellow members of Parliament. Good morning, permanent witnesses. Kafue Council, good morning. You're welcome. My name is Mishek Mtetwa Nyambose, representing the special people of Chasefu constituency in Eastern Province and a member of this committee. Chair, thank you for the occasion, the opportunity to ask. The first question, Chair, is on page 1. Unaccounted for funds. Chair, contrary to the Act, revenue in amounts totaling 111,901 was not accounted for, as deposit slips and daily cash collection sheets were not available during the time of audit. The first question, Chair, why fail to... This young man from Nakonde has stolen my pen. Chair, the question is why fail to avail the documents to auditors? Chair, you will note on the same page that in the action taken report, they are saying that out of 111,901, amounts totaling 96,610 were traced, leaving a balance of 15,291. Again, from this 15,000, they're saying that 8,525.87 was deducted from an aiding officer. An aiding officer's accrued leave days owing to the fact that the said officer had been transferred to another council, to be specific, Rumezi Council. And they are saying proudly that they are remaining with a balance of 6,765, 13 Ingwe, town clerk or council secretary. At which point did you realize that monies were not being accounted for from the period of January to December 2022? What control, internal control systems are there that could not show you that some people were personalizing public resources until you had to wait for this person to be transferred to Lumezi? Then you are writing a letter. Chair, I will ask the committee to go to Appendix A1. When you look at Appendix A1, are we there?
Yes.
It says audit of revenue for the year 1st January 2021 to 31st December 2021. I was interested to see that these figures, this figure, Chair, of 111,901 actually is for the period 1st January 2021 to December 2022, 2 years. These monies could not be accounted for. Chair, when you look at the attachments, in the same Appendix A1, they have attempted to account for the monies, the same 111,000. They have attached several documents. The other question that I can ask Council Secretary is, there is an officer by the name of Timothy Kalele. According to the title that I see here, unless I'm guided by you, CS Chair, this is a very interesting query, Chair. There is Timothy Kalele, who is whose designation is SAO. If I may make an attempt, should be Senior Accounts Officer. Yes or no, CS, before?
Yes, Chair.
Yes, Chair. You note from A4, the appendices that they have attached. This Timothy Kalele is in charge of preparing summary of treasurer's receipts issued. He would prepare the summary. The same Timothy Kalele would enter the same transaction into the cash book. The same Timothy Kalele would issue receipts. The same Timothy Kalele would be entrusted to bank money. Chair, when you look at the trail or the trend, is that they have one officer who is entitled, is responsible for issuing receipts, do the summaries, enter into the cash book, and take to the bank unaudited. Chair, when you look at these deposits, cash deposits or check deposits, Chair, I will take you to one of interest. For instance,
yes, you are taking note of.
I'm taking you so that you understand. And I want to have the attention of the internal auditor and the treasurer as I deal with this matter. There is a deposit on 28th January 2022. It is Zanaco. You will note that all the deposits that were done by this Kalele Timoth have no signatures of the bank tailors. Apart from one, there are a lot. And Chair, it is of interest, I want to find out from the treasurer that the same day, same time, Timoth Kalele can issue two different deposit slips. One for 250 kwacha and the other one for 400 kwacha, bearing the same narration. Same day, same time. Instead of depositing on one deposit slip, he does two. Chair, this query, when you look at some of the evidence that has been adduced, they are blared. You can't read anything from the bank. And I want to ask you, Chair, and the external auditor to take interest about these transactions amounting to 111,901. You will note that most of them, they do not have the teller's signature. They just have a stamp from the bank. You doubt the authenticity of these deposits. And where one individual is involved throughout the accounting process, receipt to banking. Chair, I may start with those. The question is, why deduct from a person who was transferred to Lumezi? Why deduct when this person was offering a service and he got these monies whilst in Kafue? What disciplinary action did you take before this person was transferred that you deducted? And what evidence do you show this committee, apart from the letter that you have attached? What evidence that these monies were actually deducted? You have further asked Lumezi Council to, you got from his leave days without his acknowledgement. You have asked further Lumezi Council to help you deduct more money. But the internal control system which were there, the question is, why couldn't you detect whilst the person was in Lumezi and these other monies that are attributed to other people amounting to 111,000? I submit, Chair. It's quite a complex, but it's very interesting you to see the weak controls and accounting systems in Kafue which has given room to people to manipulate the system and personalize resources. I submit for the meantime.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nyambose. I think it's a very loaded question which requires the CS to respond and maybe also ask or request your supporting staff to assist you where need be. I may not allow my colleagues to fire you more questions until this one is exhausted. So, CS, you may respond to that catalogue of questions coming from Honorable Nyambose.
Thank you very much, Chair, and I thank the Honorable MP for those observations that have been made. I wish to submit, Chair, on the first question that was asked regarding why we failed to avail these documents to to the auditors at the time of audit. We had already submitted earlier that this was due to misfiling. These documents had been kept in a place where it was difficult to find them at the time of the audit. But later on, when we had more time, we were able to find these documents. Regarding the issue of the internal controls, I wish to submit...
Sorry, maybe before you go very far, it has been observed, even in the previous meetings, that I don't know, maybe I would ask this question from the ministry. Is it a part of their lesson that each time auditors are there, very, very vital documents are always misplaced? What kind of assistance are you assisting government? Because I think we've been sitting here with you, and this has been a chorus in all the local authorities. Is there anything that is behind this scourge where very important documents are missing at the time of audit?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I wish to state that the auditors write to all the institutions the time they are coming. And all institutions are supposed to start preparing for the coming in of auditors. So things of missing, I think I don't even know how I can take it, but local authorities should be on top and be providing these documents. And auditors also, they go there 1, 2 times. They should just be providing. There is no reason to give that, no, they were misfiled or what. We are just encouraging them to be providing these documents at the time when the auditors are there. I submit, Chair.
It's like there's a lesson at Chalimbana to that effect. You may... Yes, sir.
Just a statement on the same. Chair, your concern is a very serious concern for everyone and the government. Chair, these are not ordinary documents. Chair, these are accountable documents. And you have seen these documents. It is not ordinary document. It is money. Why? What, to my knowledge, Chair, there is a lockable cabinet or storeroom for all accountable documents for councils. And the failure to secure accountable documents is a serious offense and an indictment on individual officers responsible for that council. And it's a concern. Just saying they are now traced. Look at the documents, Chair. I've read throughout in the night over these documents, which they have submitted. That's why in my preamble, I said I want the external auditors to take interest. Because these are just manipulated and manufactured evidence. Chair, I wanted to augment your point before they respond that these are not ordinary documents. This is money, and this money could be in millions and millions that could benefit the people of Kafue. I submit.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is a very serious and growing concern. I think maybe from Secretariat Parliament, I think as an institution, we must take time to visit a number of institutions or a number of our local authorities to see how they keep these documents. Because it's year in, year out, we are receiving similar responses. So I think as Parliament, maybe from Secretariat point of view, can we find a way on how we can visit institutions and see where such documents are kept? So, CS, you may proceed to answer other concerns from Honorable Nyambose.
Thank you very much, Chair. The observations have been noted, Chair, but we are still submitting that internal controls have been put in place. And right now, the system for the collection of revenue has been digitized. And we are also ensuring, regarding the concern for the security of the accountable documents, we are submitting, Chair, that we are now storing these accountable documents in a secure, strong room where they could be kept safely and also where it could be easy to retrieve them. And I also wanted to submit, Chair, on the question that was asked regarding why we deducted from the person that had been transferred to another local authority. When the matter came to light, the office had already been transferred. So as a council, we would not constitute disciplinary proceedings against that officer. And the person that had been transferred to the other council in Lumezi is the one who is indicating to have had the cash receipt books but was not able to account for these funds. And that's why management decided to ensure that these funds are recovered. I think on the other issues, I would ask my Director of Finance to assist me.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. I think on the issue why the same officer is appearing, no, this is the office, I know, specifically this is the account for the radio station. So this is the officer who was specifically assigned to handle the radio station account. So he was stationed at the radio station. So he's the one who was doing the sitting, depositing, and doing the cash.
Any follow-up, colleagues? Honorable Nyambosa?
Chair, I will start with what the Treasurer submitted. What is the standard? Is it in order, according to your profession, that the one person receives the money, issues the receipts to the clients, prepares the ledger, and does the depositing or does the preparation of financial statements? Is it in order? Is it by standard, according to your profession, financial standard or regulations in the local government or accounting profession? Is it the standard? And if yes, I will rest my case. If not, what measures did you put in place to ensure that there are internal checks, the system checks the other? I submit, Chair. I'll start with that.
Maybe before we allow him to respond, from my other colleagues, is there any follow-up question on that one so that we can go to the next? Okay, fine. Thank you so much, Honorable. On the same, please.
Treasurer, the other one is to what the Council Secretary has responded. We are looking at the year January to December 2022. When you look at these receipts, 111, started from 2021. The question is easy. What was the internal audit doing to check who the custodians of certain receipt books, including the one who has been transferred in Rumezi? You couldn't tell that this receipt book is not being checked, is not being seen by the council until the officer was transferred. That is the question. I know you have no control on the transfers. Even if you are not going to be transferred, the internal control systems shows that it could take even 10 years without checking him, because 2 years you are not checking why he was not surrendering the book or why he was not surrendering resources in his custody using that particular receipt book. Why? Where was the internal audit? I want to be satisfied with that, or the committee would want to be satisfied about the system. Thank you, Chair.
Let's answer those two questions, yes, before we come to another concern.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to admit at this stage that at the time, the internal controls may have been weak, but I wish to submit to this committee that the system has since changed, because our audit team is now checking the books of accounts on a very regular basis, and the daily cash summary sheets are being prepared on a regular basis. So the internal controls are now in place to ensure that public funds are accounted for prudently. So the system may have been weak at that time, but this has since changed. I submit, Chair.
The chairperson has come, and whilst enjoying his powers, may I ask a question? He may not give me an opportunity to ask when I'm there. On page 9. Oh, okay. No, I want to enjoy the powers of the chairman first. So you may respond to the next question before I go to resume my seat.
Thank you very much, Chair. On the issue of whether it was the standard for one person to do everything, the answer is no. But that was the way it was in 2022, but that is not the current status at the moment.
Thank you so much. So I'll ask my other question on my seat. Chair, thank you so much for giving me the privilege to oversee your committee.
Any other question, members? Honorable Singombe?
Yes, Chair. You will forgive me. I was taking notes on your.
That's fine.
But there's somewhere, I think should be on page 9, if I'm not mistaken, where there is, sorry, now I'm taking a bit of time. Failure to collect, Chair. When you check through somewhere there, the local authority is indicating that some billboard owners are non-compliant to pay to the local authority, as they are claiming that they are paying to Road Development Agency. Find that appendix. So, again, when you check somewhere, the next page, Chair, you discover that while this local authority is failing to collect, they owe a number of institutions huge sums of money. For me, which is not supposed to sit like this. Now, you are claiming, I'm using the word that you are claiming that some billboard owners are unable to pay, and they are claiming that they are paying to RDA. Chair, allow me to ask whether the local authority has, in the past, sat down with RDA to confirm that these billboard owners are paying to them. And why is it that there's no distinction on which billboard should be paid to the local authority and which one should be paid to RDA? That's my concern, Chair, because when you look at the next page, these statutory institutions, they owe them a lot of money. And meanwhile, on the other side, the same local authority is failing to collect revenue. Thank you, Chair.
Council Secretary.
On the first question that was asked regarding whether our council has had an engagement with RDA, it's just through correspondences that the engagements have been done. But I think there was never a time when the two parties sat to resolve the issues that are outstanding. On the other part, the council treasurer the director of finance may help me.
Director of finance.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. I think on the appendices G2, we have attempted to attach, one of the receipt, one of the client, I think he paid to RDA. That is on the appendices G2. There's a receipt which the next company paid to RDA.
Yeah, I can make a follow-up.
Yes, you can.
Thank you very much. I had also indicated, is there no line dividing your clients as to where they should pay?
Thank you very much, Chair. According to the correspondences which we received from RDA, they are saying 3 kilometers from the post office. Now, like the situation we have in Kafue, we have 2 post offices. Like there's one in Kafue Estate. So when we move from Kafue Estate to town, that is already 3 kilometers. Again, from town, in town again we have another post office. So now that is where the confusion is. So far that no, RDA is getting into our 3 kilometers. Because like this company, the same company which we have attached the receipt, it is within the 3 kilometers. That's why we captured it.
Yes, sir.
but on the same. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, Chair. Now that you have that kind of a scenario, what is the lasting solution? Is there anything that you are doing as a local authority to find a lasting solution to this situation in Kafue between yourselves and RDA?
Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. The lasting solution to this challenge would be to have a roundtable discussion with RDA so that the areas of differences are attended to. I think we need more engagement with the Road Development Agency, and that will be done, Chair. I submit.
Yes. On the same failure to collect, it starts from page 7, Chair. Budget, income and expenditure, appendix 2. The council budgeted to collect 83,698,041 kwacha. What they only collected for the year under review was 54,397,933, giving a variance of 29,300,108, meaning that they underperformed, they over-budgeted, and most of the votes failed to perform. And I'll take you to page 8 where we have the schedule, CS and the committee. They have given a schedule explaining how each vote performed. And I'll start with the local taxes. Fees and charges, licenses, levies, permits, commercial ventures, and other income. I'll end there. I will not include the CDF. Chair, of interest, I want to take the council to local taxes. They failed to collect 12,285,859 kwacha. The reasons or cause of the query and action taken. They are saying due to changes faced on the 2017 valuation roll as a result of subdivisions done on most of the properties in Chalala, Nyukasama, and Didirai, management is currently updating the valuation roll and engaged services of the court bailiffs to recover what was outstanding from those properties that were owing. Chair, Appendix H1, HI1, and HI2 are letters which they have written to the bailiffs, and I want this committee to go to those appendices.
Appendices.
The first one is the one talking about, from the ministry, talking about the valuation law. Now, of interest are the letters that they have written to debtors. The first one written, legal demand notice for rates. It was written on 31st December on top there, 31st December 2022. Then it was written to Puma Zambia Limited. And the council secretary was Mr. Kalenga, Frank Kalenga. Then it was signed. The amount was 30,856 kwacha, owed to the council by Puma Zambia. The date on the stamp, it was May 2023. When this letter, this is the council secretary, whilst the letter was dated 31st December. From December 2022, only to be acknowledged in May, CS. Take note. The other one is written to Chita Lodge, very prominent lodge in Kafue. They owed the council 130,371 kwacha 77 ingwe. Again, it was written on 21st February 2023. It was acknowledged on 22nd February 2023. But this letter of demand is not signed, Chair, by the CS. How do you expect someone to pay you on a demand letter that is not signed? The third one, Chair, it was only acknowledged on 26, signed in May by the Council Secretary, Mr. Kalenga then, a letter which was done on 31st December. Are we together, CS? The other one, 30th May 2023, Zambia Police Thrift and Credit Cooperative. They owed the council 58,936.50 ngwe. Only acknowledged on June 7th June 2023, written in May. It was signed by a council secretary whose name is not mentioned. The other officer Kalenga was mentioned. This one was not mentioned. The other one to Chita Lodge, 130,000, not signed. The last one, Chair, on that same one, it was to Makusa Q Malwa Kavinda. He owed the council 257,203.27. A lot of money. This letter is not signed by the council secretary. Sir, the question, Chair, is how do clients take the council serious with such action? Or maybe, I may be too harsh, you were just submitting this for the purpose of this committee. They could be, these demands were not actually authentic. They are not submitted, were not given to the ratepayers. The other one, Chair, as I conclude on this segment, is the fees and charges. They are saying that for market fees, most of the markets stands remained unoccupied during the year. Other codes such as survey fees, refuse disposal, application fees, penalties, and occupants licenses were due to over budgeting. If you over budgeted, at which point did you realize that your budget was overstated? Why I ask so? Do you do budget review performance? If you are doing budget review performances, and you, at which point did you notice that certain votes were not performing? If you had noticed, did you make any adjustments to your budgets so that you could have a budget that was realistic? I submit, Chair.
Thank you very much. Council Secretary.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'd like to begin with the issue of the demand notices. I wish to submit, Chair, that the demand notices are actually signed. If you look at the demand notices, there is where it says Council Secretary, but then there is a space which is indicating to say signature. That is where the signatures were being placed. So they are actually signed. On the other issues regarding the dates that were used on these demand notices, I'll ask my Director of Finance to come in.
Director of Finance.
Thank you very much, Chair. These demand notices, Chair, were being generated by the system. So on the date, 31st December, when you look at the Dating Act, we are just allowed to issue demand notices after the year has come to an end. So when we are producing these letters, it was indicating the date at the year end, but this is not the actual date actually when the letter was was prepared. The correct date is the one which is on the stamp when the CSC signed. Then whether they were delivered, I think yes, they were delivered, and these monies I think were collected. The only one I think we are remaining, which we are still remaining with a balance, is the last one, where I know we entered into a payment plan. I think I have the financial statements for 2023. I think which is showing how much we have collected, for 2023 for property rates. As at 31st December 2023, we collected up 10.2 million.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, Honorable Simba.
Chair, thank you very much. Chair, mine is just to make a follow-up because on the same fees and charges.
Director Finance, you can switch off your mic.
On the same page 8, Chair, fees and charges, where they have stated that it was over budgeted. I wanted to find out, Treasurer, through you, Chair, from the Treasurer, where did you base your budget on, even after over budgeting? Where were you basing the very budget, Chair? Because you cannot just over budget something, Chair. It means there were something that the Treasurer was looking at. We want to know, where did you base your budget on? Chair, I submit.
A follow-up on the same? Dr.
Chair,
Mendes,
a follow-up on the same.
you have a follow-up?
You note that these figures we're talking about of 200 and something, 130 to Cheetah Lodge, Chair. This is what we call predictable income, because these are institutions and organizations that are doing business in Kafue. Now, if the council can have January to December 2022 not collected any money from Cheetah Lodge, I'm just giving an example of Cheetah Lodge because it's appearing here, and the Puma Zambia, who have, I think they have filling stations. If they are failing to collect from these predictable sources, what more residential properties? And hence, they have this variance. Council Treasurer, can you confirm that you failed to collect from these higher paying sources of revenue as stated in your report? I submit, Chair.
Council Secretary or Director Finance?
Thank you very much, Chair. We agree, Chair, with the auditor's report that that money as at 31st December was not collected. But I think the picture, as I indicated earlier, is not the same. That money, we engaged bailiffs, I think in 2023. We engaged bailiffs, and that money was collected, which was being owed by Cheetah Lodge.
Pardon?
Then on the,
yes,
on the issue of the budget, though it is a bit tricky, but I will mention what we base on when we are doing the budget. Usually, we have the database, which we use to do the budgeting. Usually, that is what we base on when we are doing the.
Chair, on the same, now if you have the database as you have put here, are you still telling this committee that you over budgeted? If you followed what you have, the database, why are you telling this committee after following the database and you are telling us that you over budgeted? Why?
Chair, thank you very much. Chair, the budget is an estimate, and you find that quite right you can have the database. For example, I can give an example of maybe crop levy. You budget to say, according to the database you have, this is what to collect. But like the situation this year, we have a drought. So you find that at the end of the day, what you budgeted is what you're not going to, is not what we are going to collect because of nature. So usually that is what affects our budget. Sometimes you have the database, so you are going to give out these plots. But maybe at the end of the day, that those plots are not given, then automatically budget will be affected.
Yes, Honorable Boss, on the same.
Yes, on the same, Chair. Treasurer, he tried to use examples that are speaking to the same. Don't use the crops because we have a drought now. There is no crop levy here. We are talking about survey fees, refuse disposal, application forms, penalties, and the rest. And it's good to give examples. Now, my colleague has asked a very good question, that what was the basis. You said you are the database. And if you have accurate information, you are supposed to collect. I asked earlier, Chair, how, if they do budget review, if they do, they were going to be informed. What I know, Chair, is that they were supposed to use 2020 and 2021 budget performance as a basis of informing what they should factor in the 2022. The collection efficiency for 2020 and the 2021 was going to inform them. Now, what was the collection efficiency in the same areas in the 2020? Did you collect 100%? That is maybe could be the reason which motivated you to increase in 2022 or to maintain the same. What was the collection efficiency in the areas of fees and charges in 2021? Chair, just in conclusion, they were using COVID as a basis of not collecting. Now COVID is over. I remember there was a budget underperformance from the same last year, because we have been sitting here. So I want to find out what was the collection efficiency. Did you use that as a basis for coming up with this figure for fees and charges? Chair, if you look at the others, as I wind up on this one, yes, they have given same reasons on licenses, same reason. They are saying due to lack of compliance by business houses, the council has intensified engagement and enforcement by using task force. Maybe you can also tell this committee what are the results in the areas of licenses, levies, permits, commercial ventures, if at all the task force has managed to collect everything that was outstanding, like you have done on the rates using the berries, because it has given the same reasons there. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Let's have a question from Dr. Mwanza as we wind up on this.
Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity. Try to be as precise as possible. We go to page 3 of the report.
Council Secretary, page 3 of your report.
Chair, on page 3 of the report, Council, I'm looking at the 20% of the equalization fund, which is just supposed to be utilized on the capital projects. So, Council, on page 3, they had a total amount to capital expenditure of 5,168,585. And the way Council was to spend this money is on page 4. So there's a table on page 4. Rehabilitation of Nangwenya Market, installation of solar powered lights, and so on. The total amount is 3.677895 to be spent on capital projects. So the question is on page 3. First, Council is saying, in addition, an amount of 2.7 million was brought forward from 2021, bringing the total available funds for capital expenditure to 5,168,000. As of December 31st, 2022, amounts totaling to 5.6 million had been spent, leaving a balance of 473. So the question is based on the table. the table here you are showing that you spent 3,677,895 from the budgeted or the total income of 5,168,585. But you are stating clearly that as of 31st December 2022, amounts totaling to 5,656,249 had been spent. So, where did you spend the balance of 1.3 million? Because I don't see it being accounted on this table. That is the first question. The second question is the contractor for project number 6, construction of bar and restaurant. In short, this contract was awarded in 2021 to construct a bar and a restaurant to increase revenue collection to the councils. And then in 2022, when auditors visited the council could not avail pertinent information pertaining to this contract. The contract had stalled for more than 24 months. And auditors seeking information to this contract, they were not availed even, they couldn't even be given the contract between the contractor and the council. After, when they are summoned to come and appear in this committee, they found some communication, and that communication is on Appendix A. I think it is no, Appendix D. They're actually showing a letter of termination, that the contract was terminated, and council, communication, Appendix D1. There's a letter here showing that this contract was terminated in June. And yet, when the auditors visited, they could not avail them with any information, financial or even technical. Technical, of course, the auditors just saw that the works stalled and the contractor was not on site. So, this behavior leads me to this question that what option did the council use to find this information pertaining to this contract, which they could not use that channel at a time of audit to find this important information?
Thank you.
The other question on this contractor is
I hope that's the last one.
the closure. What is the financial closure of the account in terms of funds? I see that you invoked liquidated damages. Liquidated damages amounting to 10%. But then, this contractor already was paid 52% of the contract sum. And you've just kept quiet to say, right now, the remedial measures you have put in place is you have advertised the premises for lease on as it is basis. How much savings have you made from the contractor by terminating his contract?
Okay. Thank you very much. Council Secretary.
Thank you very much, Chair. On the balance of 1.3 that is being queried, I'd like to refer that one to Director X to make a comment on the same.
Chair, SG, it's not 1.3, it's 2.4. Because it's 2.409. This is just a correction.
Yes. Director of Finance? Is this Director of Works or Director of Finance?
It should be Director of Finance on this part.
Director of Finance?
Thank you very much, Chair. On the table, Chair, I wouldn't comment much. But, this was done by the auditors. The table which the honourable member has referred to.
Then, Chair, on the issue of the liquid...
Just there, before. Chair, just see there when the Director of Finance is saying this was done by the auditors. We would want to know their table. We want to use their table to interrogate them. So, are you saying that the figure that the auditors found, that you only spent 3.2, this figure is not tallying with your information? Or what are you saying about this figure that the external auditors stated that you have used 3.2, and here you are stating that 5.6 was spent? We want to understand, how do you reconcile these two figures, the 5.6 and the 3.2?
Director of Finance.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, the 5.6 which is being mentioned, actually, no, it is also the background information being given by the auditors. Say no, initially no, the actual amount which was allocated for 2022 was, according to the report, was 2.4. Then there was a brought forward figure of 2.7, which made a total of 5.6 million. Then that is the, as at 31st December, a totaling 5.6 million had been spent, leaving a balance of 473,000. So this background information was being given by the auditors. Then when we come to the table, they are saying, you know, out of the allocated amount for 2022, 3.2 was spent, leaving a balance of 431.
Okay, are we clear on that, members?
Anyway, we want, sorry, through you, Chair, we want to bring in the external auditor into this this issue. Let's just go to the contractor. Of course, for them to collect this information, they definitely had to get information from the Works Department as well as our internal auditor. I mean, how could they guess about these values? No, I'm just saying. Yeah, let's go to the other questions which I asked.
Yes. Another question from Dr. Mwanza. The response from Dr. Mwanza's question.
Yes, yeah. On the issue of the liquidated damages, I'll ask Director X to come in.
Director X.
Thank you, Chair. The question on, I'll start with the question on the savings after the termination. I'm hoping I got that one right. So from the ledgers that we have on the project, the savings on the project are amounting to 80,522.07. And to connect this one with the liquidated damages, upon termination of the project, a certificate of the value of works done is issued. And from the assessments and the picking up from the correspondences and the ledgers and the assessment of the works on the ground, the works remaining according to our BOQ are amounting to 78,687, the documents which I have here. And from what we've saved, it's coming out that the contractor is not owing the council in lines with the council being able to finish the works remaining with the remaining funds.
Okay, so it is true that I needed that history, financial records. You have now, as council, advertise a facility to be on lease, right? I read somewhere that now you want to put it on lease on as it is basis.
Yes, Honorable.
And so, as it is basis, now that I've looked at the figures that you have saved, why don't you engage another contractor to finalize the works, so that as you put a facility on lease, it will be in a good shape. It would have all the plumbing, all the electricals, all those works, remaining works, which the contractor failed to finalize. It was just a comment, Chair.
Thank you very much. Kafue Council, yes. As you wind up, yes.
Okay, let me. So thank you for the opportunity, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Sumumba.
Chair is still checking. I wanted to find out on page 8 that these commercial ventures, now when you look at the comment, they are saying commercial ventures were under rehabilitation, which took long, more than what was anticipated at the time of budgeting. I would want to know what are these commercial ventures and how many were they, and also, Chair, if they just started rehabilitating these commercial ventures at once.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Chair.
Chair, mine also is on the same page 4.
Yes, page 4.
On the table, Chair.
Yes.
I just wanted to find out first. The first question is rehabilitation of Nangongwe Market Shelter. I mean the projects there. The other one is installation of solar power lights and at C5 and Karukungu Market. The other one, number 3, procurement of a bus. The other one, procurement of a utility vehicle. Fabrication of aluminium partition in the council chairperson's office. Construction of bar and restaurant. Construction of sub-bomber in Shantumbu. And you have a column there for amounts. You have put figures, amounts there. The first question before I ask substantive one is the figures you have put there for rehabilitation of Nangongwe Market, 122,586. Then installation of solar powered lights, all those, are they budgeted amounts or they are out of a quotation obtained from suppliers and contractors? That's the first question.
I think, is it the same question that DF was saying is coming, that was coming from the auditors? Something like that. I think he responded to that. Maybe you can give us another question, Honorable Nyambos.
Oh, he responded to that?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
So, sorry, Honorable Mwanza.
No, the question is, if it has been answered, let me ask my question, Chair, then you'll be guided. I will be guided.
Exactly.
Procurement of a utility, procurement of a bus, 1,278,000. Amount spent, same amount, 1,278,000. Was it tendered? Was it single sourced and the supplier provided a quotation? Because the balance is 0-0. Then the other one is installation of solar power lights at C5 and Karukungu Market. They budgeted for 524,249. They spent the actual amount, balance 0-0. Now the question was, how come if these were tendered, they were advertised, and the people bidded, the bidding was exactly to what was budgeted, or these were single sourced, given to an individual, he brought a quotation? That was my question, Chair.
Thank you very much. Council Secretary.
Thank you very much, Chair. I would like to begin with the first question, which was on the commercial ventures. The Honorable MP wanted to know the commercial ventures that we have. These are the swimming pool, which is being referred to, as well as the Inkanga Lodge. Those are the two commercial ventures that we have as a local authority. And then regarding the issue of how the procurements were done for the bus, as well as the installation of solar-powered lights at C5 Market, at C5 Kalukungu Market, Director Works and Director Finance can help me on those.
Director Works it appears like the procurement of these two projects were done from inside. When you don't have, when you have zero balances, was the supplier one of you?
Thank you, Chair. Okay, I'll try to respond by drawing the attention to number 6.
Can you respond by not trying?
Okay, so
you respond.
These ones are actually contracted amounts. I have a contract document for the bar and restaurant, signed contract document, and it's at 768, this amount which is indicated there. So, sorry, I have it, it wasn't part of, but I...
It's not, what you are reading is not part of what you have submitted, right?
Not part of the submissions, Chair.
So the report then is misleading, because we are basing our questions based on what you have submitted. So you have additional information, the information that was going to help us, not to ask you these questions. Please proceed. Proceed. Just a short guide, Director of Works. I think the question, what you are queried on are on those zero balances. That's where members wanted to know, and I don't know, that's why we have additional information. Because now we are talking about the bar and the restaurant that are not even queried.
Yes, Chair, on this matter, we wouldn't want to mislead the House. So I think maybe on this one we would request that we get more information on the same so that we don't mislead the House. Thank you.
Chair, I wanted this construction of sub-bomber in Shantumbu. Is it done? Have you constructed? Because the amount was 425 and that it has been paid. If we go there today, are we going to find this sub-bomber in Shantumbu?
Council Secretary?
Is a question. Chair, look at the scope of work. It is, the title is, the project name is Construction of Sub-Bomber in Shantumbu. What type of structures, what is the scope of work that is constructed to constitute a sub-bomber that is amounting to 425?
Thank you. Those two questions.
As their attempt, the critical ones, the two, and what I've asked. When coming here, you have the information. This is your report. The three, procurement of a bus, you procured a bus. Was this single sourced? It was public tender that you can budget for 1,278,000 and exactly paying the same amount with zero balance. The other one is the 524,249. You pay exactly. Then the other one is the sub-bomber. How come these are strange transactions? How come the contractors, if it was tendered, how come did they know about these figures? Oh, it was a single sourcing thing. Some people just brought quotations. Can you pay for this? That is very critical. CS, you cannot fail to answer that one.
Thank you. Can you respond? Yes.
I'm submitting, Chair, that these are contracted amounts.
Those are contracted amounts.
Yes, Chair.
Now, we follow up now to the same. Don't forget it too. If these were contracted, how did these contractors know the actual amount budgeted, 1,278,000, and they exactly equal to the same amount, this successive bidder? Was there any leakage? Do we have procurement within this team? Was there any leakage that was given to them that this is the figure? Because it is strange. I'm a member of parliament. I know what happens. You budget, people bid a little bit less, some more, but not exactly. How come these strange figures? Even 85 kwacha, equal amounts, strange.
Council Secretary, you seemingly you're not providing the right responses on this, because there are many questions surrounding the same. One of them is that why should you have exact amounts, budgeted amounts? It suggests to the committee that you had information leakages if one of you is not a supplier here. And then we also say what constitutes a sub-bomber. You have not responded under that amount. So do you have comments on that, Council Secretary?
Thank you, Chair. I'll start with the one on the issue of the sub-bomber. I wish to state that maybe the construction of the wording for the project may not have been correct, because the one we are referring to as the construction of a sub-bomber was just an initial amount that was allocated just for the preparation of a slab. So this amount, yes, it was spent on the construction of just the slab.
So what is there at the sub-bomber? There's only a slab?
Yes, Chair.
So it's a slab for what? A house? An office?
Director Works.
Director Works? It's a slab for what?
So thank you, Chair. It's a slab for the same office, the sub-bomber Shantumbo office.
I doubt if Director of Works, I doubt if you know exactly what you are putting to this committee. You don't seem to be confident that this is an office, this is where we are going to put this is where, yes.
Chair, thank you very much. Yeah, I want to understand, Chair, if we can spend 425 just for a slab of an office, how much will be then the structure itself? And who is the contractor? Secondly, Chair, even when you look at the procurement of this utility vehicle, the project number 4, 500, and they have spent 489. Why leaving the balance if they have delivered the vehicle? Is the vehicle delivered or not? If it has been delivered, why do we have the balance?
Council Secretary, but before Council Secretary you come, maybe an additional question. Director of Works, how many officers will be sitting on that slab? How many officers will be sitting there? On a sub-bomber, yes.
Thank you, Chair. I don't have the information with me here, and I wouldn't want to mislead the committee.
Okay, what could be the size, roughly, of that slab? Maybe it can give us an idea how many officers will sit there.
Yes, Chair. For this particular project, I do have the drawings. The drawings were shared with me, and I only have copies on soft copy.
A bonus answer. Who is the contractor?
Sorry?
Who is the contractor?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Honorable.
you
It
very
was the project from way back.
Okay. But you are the supervisor. You are the director of works. So who do not hear apart from you? Procurement. Do you have anything?
Maybe Chair, there is no slab even there, because if the director of works doesn't know, we are wondering now if there is even a slab there. Procurement, through you, Chair, the procurement maybe can give us, is there anything there? Details?
Sorry, Chair. We
Yes.
wanted to request our internal auditor, because we may have to rely on institutional memory. She may have been there at the time. She can make a comment on the same. Thank you.
Yeah, but that's very good to have institutional memory. But it's very important that when you take office, especially director of works, you don't sit in the office. You run around and check on the projects that are there, even as you receive the diagrams. And more especially that this is one of the queries that was on your paragraph. It was very important that the director of works would physically visit all the projects and have information at his fingertips. Internal audit, are you able to save this council?
Yes, Chair. In terms of the works done, the works have been done just up to the slab level.
Do you have an idea how many offices?
Sorry?
Do you have an idea how many offices will be housed there?
I'm not sure, but in terms of the size, I can just give an approximate. It could be maybe 20 by 30.
Okay, we will not get assumptions. Thank you very much. Director of Works, we want to encourage you to visit the site. Just visit the site.
For the procurement, you are new. To state these figures, you say these were contracted figures. How come? Who are the suppliers? How were they picked to know the figures that were budgeted and exactly is what they bidded for? How come? This is very critical.
Honorable Nyambose, I can assure you 200% you will not get the answer. But it's very, very critical. We, Kafue Town Council, we have realized as a committee that there are those gaps in your report. There are those gaps in your report. My Honorable Nyambose, we can go up to 14 hours. You will not satisfy him, because seemingly we don't have the information. My internal auditor has even made it, worse. When she says it's 20 by 30, it's just. Anje, how many? So that's why we're saying we don't have the information. We don't have the information, but we want to encourage you, Council Secretary, together with the team, with everyone here, that we take keen interest in these projects and be able to have the information at our fingertips, so that people out there, the people in Kafue, the people, the whole nation will be able to know and see that actually what we are doing, we are on top of things. Unlike maybe we doubt we do this. At the end of the day, Council Secretary and your management, it will not augur well, because we will feel that you are not doing what you are supposed to be doing. We have always mentioned this, and we will mention it even today, that the government has realized that there is need for you people to have transport, there is need for you to be able to monitor the projects, and hence, the procurement of those monitoring vehicles. So we don't expect you people to come here and give us assumptions, speculations, We want you to give us factual information. We want the information that we are going to build on. Like I said at the beginning of the meeting, that we want to write a report. You can imagine how difficult it is to write a report from this submission. We wish you well, and we want to encourage you to work as a team. Make sure you seal up the gaps. CS, make sure you're on top of things and you're able to get the information from your officers, from all the departments. Thank you very much for making appearance before this committee. We'll continuously encourage you to work as a team and working hard. With that said, now let me withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you and allow you to get back to Kafue. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, Chair.
President Hakainde Hichilema will on Friday, 15th March 2024, address the nation on Parliament radio and television on the progress made in the application of national values and principles. Make a date on Friday, 15th March at 10 hours.
Zikuoneka ngati anthu oyipa achuluka kuposa abwino. Zikumaonekanso ngati anthu odziwa malemba achuluka kuposa owachita. Kuno zikumaonekanso ngati azitumiki anu ambiri nkhani ya chuma ya waenda. Zikumadzaonekanso ngati utenga oti mudzabweranso padakali pano adaukumitsa. Ine ndeni mati mwina mtumeko angelo anu wandipeze mugetse mani. Zikuoneka ngati babwera malonda nyumba mwanu. Zikuoneka ngati babisala chifwamba nyumba mwanu. Tumani angelo anu, tumani angelo anu, andipeze mugeze mani. Zikuoneka ngati walola akuba nyumba mwanu. Zikuoneka ngati babisala chifwamba nyumba mwanu. nyumba mwanu alowetsa mukuba chikololo komanso malonda nyumba mwanu kodi mmesa mati simsinta dzulodzana ndinkuja inu muli yemwe uja mphamvu zanu zili pompaja potakukwapula anthu paja ngati mnachitira kale lija mkachisimuja nanga lero bwanji mtumeko angelo anu